For decades, we've been told that getting older means accepting cognitive decline as inevitable, but groundbreaking research reveals that one seemingly harmless bedtime habit, practiced by millions of people over 50, is actually accelerating brain aging by up to 15 years. Tonight, I want to share with you how this common evening routine is silently stealing your mental sharpness and what you can do to reverse its effects starting immediately. The habit I'm referring to might surprise you because it's something most people consider relaxing, even beneficial. Yet neuroscience shows it's creating microscopic changes in your brain that compound night after night, leading to memory problems, slower thinking, and increased risk of dementia. The encouraging news is that once you understand what's happening and why, you can make a simple adjustment that not only stops the damage, but actually begins restoring your brain's youthful function within weeks. Let me paint a picture that might feel familiar. It's been a long day, and you're finally settling into bed. Your body is tired, but your mind is still somewhat active. So you reach for your tablet, smartphone, or turn on the television to help you unwind. Maybe you scroll through social media, catch up on news, watch a late-night show, or read on a backlit device. This feels natural, even necessary for many people to transition from the busy day into sleep mode. After all, it's become such a standard part of modern bedtime routines that questioning it seems unnecessary. However, what's actually happening in your brain during these evening screen sessions is far from the relaxation you're seeking. The blue light emanating from these devices is triggering a cascade of neurological disruptions that extend far beyond simple sleep interference. While most people know that screens before bed can affect sleep quality, the deeper truth about how this impacts brain aging remains largely hidden from public awareness. Here's what occurs when you expose your brain to artificial light, particularly blue light, during the 2 hours before sleep. Your brain operates on a precise circadian rhythm that has evolved over millions of years to respond to natural light cycles. When darkness falls, your brain begins producing melatonin, often called the sleep hormone. But melatonin serves purposes far beyond just making you drowsy. Melatonin is actually one of your brain's most powerful antioxidants, specifically designed to repair cellular damage that accumulates during your waking hours. Think of your brain cells like a busy factory that operates all day, producing thoughts, memories, and coordinating bodily functions. Just like any factory, this constant activity creates cellular waste and oxidative stress. Melatonin acts like a specialized cleanup crew that works the night shift, neutralizing harmful free radicals and helping brain cells repair themselves. This nightly restoration process is absolutely critical for maintaining cognitive function as we age. When you introduce artificial light into this equation, especially the high-energy blue light from screens, you're essentially telling your brain's internal clock that it's still daytime. Your pineal gland, which produces melatonin, receives this signal and dramatically reduces melatonin production. Some studies show that just 2 hours of screen exposure before bed can suppress melatonin production by up to 23%. This might not sound significant, but the cumulative effect over months and years is profound. Without adequate melatonin, your brain's nightly repair mechanisms become severely compromised. The cellular damage that should be cleared away during sleep begins to accumulate. Over time, this leads to what researchers call accelerated brain aging. Your neurons become less efficient at communicating with each other, your memory consolidation process weakens, and your brain's ability to form new neural pathways diminishes. Recent research from Harvard Medical School followed over 800 adults aged 50 to 75 for 5 years, tracking their evening habits and cognitive performance. The results were striking. Participants who regularly used screens within 2 hours of bedtime showed cognitive decline equivalent to aging an additional 12 to 15 years compared to those who avoided evening screen time. The effect was most pronounced in areas of executive function, working memory, and processing speed. But the damage extends beyond just melatonin suppression. Blue light exposure in the evening also disrupts your brain's natural temperature regulation. Your core body temperature naturally drops by about 2 degrees as bedtime approaches. And this temperature decrease is crucial for initiating deep sleep phases, where the most important brain restoration occurs. Artificial light interferes with this temperature drop, keeping your brain in a more wakeful state, even when you're physically lying down with your eyes closed. Dr. Charles Cheisler, a leading circadian rhythm researcher at Brigham and Women's Hospital, explains that this disruption affects something called the glymphatic system. This is your brain's waste removal system that becomes most active during deep sleep. Cerebrospinal fluid flows through your brain tissue, washing away toxic proteins including beta-amyloid plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease. When your sleep cycles are disrupted by evening light exposure, this crucial cleaning process becomes less effective, allowing harmful proteins to accumulate in brain tissue. The inflammation connection is equally concerning. Chronic exposure to artificial light during natural darkness hours triggers low-grade inflammation throughout your body, including your brain. This neuroinflammation accelerates the aging process and increases your risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Studies have shown that people who maintain poor light hygiene habits have elevated levels of inflammatory markers in their blood, particularly interleukin-6 and C-reactive protein, both linked to cognitive decline. Perhaps most troubling is how this affects your brain's neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to form new neural connections and adapt throughout life. It's what allows you to learn new skills, adapt to changes, and recover from injuries even as you age. Quality sleep, particularly the deep sleep phases that require proper melatonin production, is when your brain consolidates new information and strengthens neural pathways. When this process is repeatedly interrupted, your brain literally loses its ability to stay young and adaptable. The memory implications are particularly significant for people over 50. During normal sleep cycles, your brain transfers information from temporary storage areas to long-term memory. This process, called memory consolidation, happens primarily during slow-wave sleep phases that occur in the first half of the night. Blue light exposure delays and reduces these crucial sleep phases, meaning that information you learned during the day may not properly transfer to long-term memory. Over time, this creates a snowball effect where your capacity to form and retain new memories steadily declines. What makes this even more concerning is that the effects are largely invisible in the short term. Unlike other health issues that might cause immediate discomfort, the brain aging caused by poor evening light habits accumulates gradually. You might notice that you're slightly more forgetful, or that it takes longer to learn new things. But these changes happen so slowly that they're often attributed to normal aging rather than a modifiable lifestyle factor. The good news is that your brain possesses remarkable healing capabilities when given the right conditions. Researchers have found that people who eliminate evening screen time and establish proper light hygiene can begin seeing improvements in cognitive function within just 2 to 3 weeks. The brain's natural repair mechanisms are so powerful that even years of accumulated damage can be partially reversed when you remove the ongoing source of disruption. Let me share the story of Margaret, a 62-year-old retired teacher who came to me concerned about increasing forgetfulness and difficulty concentrating. She had always been sharp and prided herself on her mental acuity, but over the past 2 years, she noticed troubling changes. Simple tasks like remembering where she put her keys or following complex recipes became challenging. Her doctor had run various tests and found nothing clinically significant, suggesting these were normal age-related changes. When I asked about her evening routine, Margaret described spending about 3 hours each night on her tablet, reading news, playing games, and staying connected with family through social media. She viewed this as relaxing time and couldn't imagine giving it up. However, after learning about the connection between evening light exposure and brain aging, she agreed to try a modified routine for 1 month. Instead of her tablet, Margaret switched to physical books with a small bedside lamp using warm, dim light. She discovered audiobooks for when her eyes were tired and developed a routine of gentle stretching and meditation before sleep. Within 3 weeks, she reported sleeping more deeply and feeling mentally sharper during the day. After 2 months, her family noticed significant improvements in her memory and overall mental clarity. Most importantly, cognitive tests showed measurable improvements in processing speed and working memory. Margaret's experience isn't unique. Clinical studies consistently show that addressing evening light exposure can produce remarkable improvements in cognitive function among older adults. The key is understanding that this isn't just about sleep quantity, but about sleep quality and the specific biological processes that occur during darkness. The solution involves creating what sleep researchers call dim light melatonin onset conditions. Starting 2 to 3 hours before your intended bedtime, you want to gradually reduce light exposure, particularly blue and white light. This doesn't mean sitting in complete darkness, but rather using warm, dim lighting that doesn't interfere with your brain's natural preparation for sleep. Practical implementation starts with establishing a digital sunset in your home. About 2 hours before bed, switch off overhead lights and use only table lamps or floor lamps with warm-colored bulbs. Many people find that amber or red-tinted bulbs work particularly well for evening activities. If you must use electronic devices, consider blue light blocking glasses or software that automatically adjusts screen color temperature as evening approaches. Reading remains an excellent bedtime activity, but the key is using proper lighting. A small reading lamp positioned to illuminate your book without creating glare works well. Many people discover that this actually enhances their reading experience, making it feel more intimate and relaxing than the harsh light of electronic devices. For those who rely on devices for relaxation, consider alternatives that provide similar benefits without the light exposure. Audiobooks, podcasts, or calming music can provide mental engagement without visual stimulation. Progressive muscle relaxation, gentle stretching, or meditation practices can offer the wind-down effect many people seek from screen time. The bedroom environment itself plays a crucial role. Complete darkness during sleep allows your brain to maximize melatonin production and engage in optimal repair processes. Blackout curtains, eye masks, and covering LED lights from electronics can significantly improve sleep quality. Even small amounts of light can disrupt sleep cycles, so attention to detail matters. Temperature control is equally important. Keeping your bedroom slightly cool, around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, supports your body's natural temperature drop and promotes deeper sleep phases. This might require adjusting your evening routine to accommodate cooler sleeping conditions. The timing of your evening meal also affects how light exposure impacts your brain. Eating large meals within 3 hours of bedtime can interfere with your body's natural circadian rhythms and make you more sensitive to light disruption. If you're hungry before bed, light snacks that contain natural melatonin precursors, like a small portion of cherries or a handful of walnuts, can actually support better sleep. Hydration strategies matter as well. While staying hydrated is important, drinking large amounts of fluids close to bedtime can disrupt sleep cycles through frequent wake-ups. The goal is maintaining steady hydration throughout the day while tapering intake in the evening hours. Exercise timing can either support or undermine your efforts to protect your brain from evening light damage. Regular physical activity improves sleep quality and supports healthy circadian rhythms, but intense exercise within 4 hours of bedtime can be stimulating and make you more sensitive to light disruption. Morning or afternoon exercise tends to be most beneficial for evening sleep quality. What's particularly encouraging is that the benefits of proper light hygiene extend beyond just protecting against brain aging. People who establish healthy evening routines often report improvements in mood, energy levels, immune function, and overall sense of well-being. This makes sense because circadian rhythms affect virtually every system in your body, not just sleep and brain function. The financial implications are worth considering as well. Poor sleep quality and cognitive decline can lead to significant healthcare costs over time. By contrast, the simple changes required to establish proper light hygiene cost virtually nothing while potentially saving thousands of dollars in future medical expenses. Some people worry about social isolation if they reduce evening screen time, particularly those who use devices to stay connected with family and friends. However, most find that shifting these interactions to earlier in the day actually improves the quality of their relationships. Morning or afternoon video calls often lead to more meaningful conversations than late-night scrolling through social media. For couples, establishing joint evening routines that don't involve screens can actually strengthen relationships. Reading together, having deeper conversations, or sharing relaxing activities can enhance intimacy and connection in ways that parallel device use cannot match. The research continues to evolve, but current evidence strongly suggests that protecting your brain from evening light exposure is one of the most powerful steps you can take to maintain cognitive health as you age. Unlike many interventions that require significant lifestyle changes or financial investment, this approach simply involves being more mindful about when and how you use artificial light. Your brain has been waiting millions of years for natural darkness to begin its nightly restoration work. Every night you provide those conditions, you're giving your most important organ the opportunity to repair, restore, and maintain its youthful function. The choice is yours, but the science is clear. Proper evening light hygiene isn't just about better sleep. It's about preserving the mental sharpness and cognitive vitality that allows you to fully enjoy your later years. Starting tonight, consider treating the 2 hours before bed as sacred time for your brain's health. Turn down the lights, put away the screens, and give your mind the darkness it needs to stay young. Your future self will thank you for this simple but profound gift of cognitive preservation.